interesting. Okay. Not sure what's going on there. It's going to be really hard to level the GoPro when it's on the chest mount. But anyway, it's a really windy day, and this is going to be my second test with the Rode mic. So on the first test, I just used the onboard microphones for the Rode mics, the wireless mics. One to capture the exhaust, and it was just clipped inside clipped outside my saddlebag, and the other was clipped inside my helmet in the little wind guard for the chin. And the exhaust sound wasn't the best, and the chin guard sound was really windy, but both were better quality than the DJI mic, so I'm still happy with the Rode mic. But now what I've done is I've plugged my old shotgun mic into the Rode mic, and I've also wrapped another dead cat around it. So it's got two dead cats. And then for my voice, I've plugged in that old Sony lav mic that I bought and clipped it into another Rode mic because the timbre from that was slightly better. But of course it had issues with clipping, so let's see how this does. Kickstand was down. One thing I miss about this bike was there's no kickstand light. And it's a windy day, so it should be a good test of the new mic setup. Put my visor down too, so it might change the quality of the sound. So I'll take the slightly long way home. It's 2:26. Shotgun mic seemed to do better for picking up the exhaust sound while it was tucked into the tail light or under the tail light housing. But when there was a cross breeze or when I was on the highway, it would still pick up a lot of wind noise, and I'm trying to cut down on some of that. So I want you to hear the original exhaust sound, but also hear some of the sounds of nature. I don't want to completely kill all the ambient sound and just highlight the exhaust. And my thought is that these are more of like a ride along or some background noise or scenes. So that you're not always listening to somebody talking and shouting in the mic and trying to convince you to buy a new product or making a ludicrous comparison or statement. And really the best example of what I'm trying to get at is the My Self-Reliance guy on YouTube. This guy in Ontario that is building a log cabin by hand mainly. And the odd time he has to use a power tool, he would actually lower the audio so the chainsaw wasn't so jarring. Was around 2017, 2018 time that I was watching his videos, and I really liked them. I vowed that if I ever made a YouTube channel, I would try to make it peaceful and relaxing like My Self-Reliance. I don't know if you could see that bird that was flying in front of me, but it was struggling to get across the highway. Should help give you an idea as to how windy it is out here. Rush hour. Should have a tailwind on the way home, so it should get a bit quieter for the mic, but it might be a bit loud, or it should be quieter for the A-roll mic, but the B-roll audio might get a little bit noisy. Fighting the crosswind right now as I go south. see if you can hear me or not, but one of the things I wanted to ask in my last video, but the audio wasn't good, was any other motorcyclists, or specifically the W800 owners, when you accelerate or decelerate, do you feel that the clutch lever moves? I feel like when I accelerate, the clutch lever moves out away from me, and when I decelerate, it pulls in closer. And it's a strange feeling. And is that another symptom of the slipper clutch? Here we are now on the highway, just under 110 kilometers an hour, doing a sound check with my cheap $60 shotgun mic in the taillight, wrapped with 2 dead cats, going into my Rode transmitter, and my Sony lav mic tucked under my chin wind guard in my helmet, also going into a Rode transmitter. And for reference, it's loud enough that I can barely hear myself talking in the helmet. This HJC F71 helmet is not the quietest helmet I've owned. It's also not the cheapest. It's the most expensive helmet I've ever bought. Just over $500, and you can get a bell qualifier with the exact same features for about $250. I've had a couple of people buy that bell, and it's a good helmet. A couple of friends have it. Sound like I'm a salesman. Staying in line with my branding, de-influencing. I don't want people spending lots of money. Traffic is flowing really well, but there's a slight hill over here, and people who refuse to use cruise control, they make traffic, because when there's the slightest hill, they don't realize that they need to give it more gas, or they let off the gas. And so this lane always backs up, and there's 2 merge points here. There's that guy in that 3-wheeler that passed me earlier. noticed in the beginning of the video, the bike didn't want to start. In the past couple of times I've taken it out, it seems to have a bit of a longer start. I wonder what's happening. Hopefully this setup that I'm testing now brings me at least one step closer to having a good setup that I like. That way, if I want to do some more vlogs, I'm not worried about whether or not you can hear me or understand me. My cousin said I should go find some lower speed limit roads around, but there's just nothing really nice out here in Edmonton. Everybody goes to Grote Road, and that's a terrible place for motorcycles. But everything's either a straight, flat highway or city traffic. Do a quick camera check. It should be okay. To. Wow, look at this. It's construction season. Correctly zipper merge, you're actually supposed to fill up both lanes, and you're supposed to merge at the end over here. You're not supposed to merge up ahead. Canadians are the worst at zipper merging and the worst at using roundabouts. I've driven in a few other countries: Lebanon, Latvia, US, India, Canada, and in my very limited experience, Canadians are the worst at zipper merging. People in the UK actually, they know how to use roundabouts quite well. In India, it's fairly well. Indians do it fairly well, considering the traffic. The craziest at roundabouts, though, are the Lebanese. They just find the shortest path through, and they'll go against the direction of traffic. It's kind of hilarious. But actually, driving in Lebanon was overall quite good. It's a very orderly chaos, and it actually works. And if there's ever any traffic, you'll come to the point where all the traffic is being caused, and you'll realize it's actually because the traffic light is working that day, or because there's a traffic police officer there trying to conduct traffic, and he ends up slowing it down. I never had any problems driving there. People are very civilized and keep to themselves. There was no road rage issues. Nobody was flipping you off and trying to cut you off. Everybody was just trying to, find the path of least resistance ahead. Just do a quick loop in here just to get some extra audio samples. It's a nice Toyota FJ, or it says Land Cruiser. Too long because the GoPro battery life is atrocious. And they drain when they're unplugged. So you can have it sitting on your desk off the charger, and then a few days later it'll be sitting at 90% after it was fully charged. And you'll get maybe 35-40 minutes out of it. So that was the second test with the Rode mic setup. We'll see how it turns out. Hope you enjoyed.